All right, guys, here's today's gear. It's all kind of newish, right? I'm not using the Nasset today. I just decided to try to put together some different stuff for fun. Gillette Platinum with a few uses on it, and the blade. The Remote Learning, which was a pre-order that was done by Summer Break. And Doritos is the smell, is the scent that it's supposed to be resembling. The Fine Accoutrements, World's Finest Razor or something like that. I think it's a bit of a misnomer, but it's still a good razor. It is an overpriced razor if you buy retail, but I bought this one used, and I think it's worth it then. Stainless steel, and it shaves well. I like it. B13 from Declaration Grooming, the knot. The handle from Briar Brushworks and Stephen Joyner, Dogwood Handcrafts. And he's been soaking for a little while, so those slightly jelly tips are very conditioned and soft. So I'm going to get my face wet. All right. It is a stainless steel razor. The handle's not super fancy, but practically it works very well. I like how it's solid. It's not hollow, so it's got some nice weight to it. The knurling is not too aggressive, that kind of thing. The head design is, I think it's kind of attractive. It's different, but these plates here, these facets that run next to the safety bar, they come right to the edge of the blade, and so I think that's what makes it enjoyable for me. I just had some blades sitting around nearby, and so I just grabbed one. The Platinum is one that isn't as reliable as some. It's a little bit more finicky in which razors it likes, so who knows? I could be putting it in a razor that it doesn't like as much, but that's all right. When it likes a razor, for me, it really likes a razor, and it shaves like a dream. Oh, and this is the, for 40 shaves or so, I haven't used anything but that Nasset, so this is my first young blade in a while. I will do a slurry lather today. So today's experience is the slurry lather with a high density brush, a Badger brush. And yesterday was with a kind of a sample, a smush that I had put into the bottom of the bowl. And we don't need to do that today since we have a full tub, right? Hot processed soap looks all gross at first, but that's okay, doesn't matter. It'll all change once you start working on it for a while. Now, Doritos, that's what the smell is supposed to be like. A lot of people that I've read the reviews on it do say that they smell the cheese, they smell the corn chips, kind of scent. Now, when I first got this, it was more of a sweeter kind of smell that reminded me of maybe some cinnamon schoolbook cookies from Trader Joe's years ago. They may still be there. But it was and just today I read one review where the guy was talking about there was a certain cake that he remembered. And so he was also thinking about the sweet aspect of it and where his family would smell it, and they seem to identify the cheese. So it's an interesting scent that is apparently being perceived by people different ways. I definitely, right now I'm getting less of the sweet to my nose. And I don't think corn jumps out at me like corn chips, Dorito type things. But if I put that in my mind, I can definitely perceive that. I can see how that would smell like that. I don't smell a big cheesy scent very much. Let's see what it smells like once we get it lathered up. So, this hasn't been used yet. So am I going to be able to do 3 swirls in it like I was able to with the Midnight Stag that I had been using day after day? Of course not. I'm going to have to do a longer load. Okay, slurry lather. Very wet brush. This Badger holds a good bit. Very wet brush. And I'm just going to work on it for a little bit. I'm going to count my swirls so I can know for next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's just do 20. Nice round number, 20 swirls. You can see we've kind of got some froth going there. It is going to depend on your brush a little bit because this is a softer tipped type of knot. Declaration definitely made some firmer tips out there, so you kind of have to know your brush. It'd be interesting to see if other parts of the scent, you know, start to come out as we work with it here. So, immediately take the brush to my face. We'll see if a little slurry starts to develop. Water is just kind of coming out. I may have, even though drips are just flying every time I'm making a rotation, I'm not having that early bubbly slurry form. I mean, you can see those. I mean, my hand is just wet because of all this. Now this is the summer break soap base. I think he called it On a Roll or something like that. It's his second version and it's really quite good. So we know it's a good soap. Okay, so this did not immediately, you know, slurry up, but that's okay. You can definitely need to give allowances for a unused soap. All right. So, how does it feel? Yeah, still feels slick. And of course, this youngish blade will move easily through my stubble. Now I constantly, even with the old blade, I work on my technique. I don't press too hard so that in times like this, I don't, my muscle memory is not going to press too hard and give me some razor burn. Cutting very nicely, super comfy. Looks like it's a nice pairing of razor and blade. And there we go. And yeah, with the new blade, not something I get with the old Nasset, but yeah, 98% of the hair's gone now. Yeah, really nice. Water splash there, got good slickness on my face. It didn't impart a lot of the soap to my face. So we just do it again here. We'll see what happens. You know, 20 swirls just may not have been quite enough. And that's part of why I'm working on it, because I want to be able to recommend to people, you know, good starting points. Maybe 30 swirls, something like that in the beginning. The problem with loading too much soap is that you then can get into a drier lather that's not as slick, and we don't want that. There's one video with some guy, and he made it years ago, and it's got one of those sensationalistic titles like the last lathering tutorial you'll ever need, and he just has these big old globs of gorgeous looking lather, and it's dense and all that stuff, but you know what, it's too dry because he loaded for so long. Of course he's going to have beautiful lather. It's going to photograph well. He loaded for so long in the soap, and it's way more soap than you need in the shave, right? And lather that photographs well is often lather that doesn't work as well. It doesn't protect you as well because it's not as slick, that kind of thing. All right. I could probably get away with just 2 passes. So I can go back to my soap here for just a couple of swirls and see what happens there. My brush has lost some of that water. That was very interesting how this particular brush, as I was doing the scrubbing motions like this, it would flick a couple of drops of water just in a predictable path each time. I did find a synthetic brush, whip dog handle, and the Plisson type knot. So I know at least I'll be able to use that one. It's not my favorite motherlode knot, but at least I'll be able to try out the slurry lather method with that one. Now this is truly a luxury pass here, almost an optional pass because the hair is just gone. And so if there are just a couple of little guys that somehow escaped cutting, then this pass is going to take care of them. Get zero irritation, barely any blade feel because the hair is just gone. And I feel it feels so good right now that I could just pick any direction I want to go. I bet right now, down here, if I tread carefully, see right here, this is against the grain right here. See, I can even do that because the first two passes were so effective that my skin is able to, I guess maybe the stubble has just been cut already so short that me going against the grain just trims off the very tips of what might be left, instead of having a longer shaft to try to cut and push back to create irritation. I'm guessing that's what's going on. So yeah, terrific shave today. Now, we're done. The slurry lather method obviously has the benefit of being fairly quick, but this is a new soap to me, so I want to spend time smelling it, right? So maybe next time I'll use this again, but try to whip up maybe a full big bowl of it so I can give it a really good chance with my nose. I don't think the cheese is coming through as cheese overtly. If I think about that, then maybe I can get it. But I can definitely get the kind of that. See, corn chips have a little bit of a natural sweetness to them, like corn on the cob. It's got a built-in kind of sweetness to it, and that's what I'm picking up. It's more potent here from the wet pug. Yeah, the scent isn't really changing too much now that it's wet. Going to definitely use it some more. Kind of a novelty scent. Meme edition is what this is. By summer break, it was a special. All of us here on the Reddit got together, a bunch of us, and said, hey, if you make this, we'll buy it, kind of thing. And he gathered up enough interest so that he knew that a big batch would get sold. It wouldn't be wasted. And so then he did pre-orders so that he would know that how much to make, that kind of thing. So 2023 meme edition, remote learning. Since we've been through the last few years where everybody's kind of doing things remotely out of necessity, just decided to make that. Now I have a couple of patches on my neck, right maybe around here, where I feel a little bit of tenderness, but it's not really a big deal. It'll go away. Even if I don't do anything, it'll go away after a few minutes, I think. But especially if I put a balm on or something like that, it'll be fine. I gave myself a good rinse already. And now the second part of the set. Remote learning. He did not go for the same scent. This is not Doritos and Doritos. If you're international, Doritos are a triangle-shaped corn chip, tortilla chip, that is seasoned with nacho cheese, Mexican-style cheese is the scent, the smell, the taste of those corn chips. And Doritos are popular around the world, so you might know something about those. The scent for the remote learning aftershave splash is Mountain Dew, a citrus soda that's super popular in America and maybe other places too. And I did smell this briefly, and it did kind of smell like citrusy. So, oh yeah, that citrus right away. You could, if you think about that very long, when citrus is obviously a very popular scent note in our little industry, our little shaving hobby. And so you can see how that would definitely be workable and enjoyable. Maybe Doritos shaving soap is more of a novelty, where this could definitely be mainstream, I think. The first thing that jumps to my mind is a lemon lime scented lifesaver. A candy, a sweet candy that has that citrus kind of scent. It's definitely the lemon lime end of the spectrum and not the orange end of the citrus spectrum. And that's as it should be, because we're talking about Mountain Dew here. Yeah, it smells really close to Mountain Dew. Kind of in a little bit more of a sweeter type of scent. Yeah, that's really nice. That's enjoyable. Anybody who likes a lime aftershave, straightforward lime aftershave, is gonna like that, I think. Well, there we go. That is today's shave. How much lather is still in the brush? I wonder. Let's just add just a touch of water to the bowl here. Do we have some soap concentrate left in the brush? Or if I work this for a minute, I get nothing. No, I think we're good. I mean, I do get a little bit more lather, as you can see, but so 20 swirls on the brand new puck. That seems like a little bit less than I should have done in retrospect. Now, if I use the same soap tomorrow, 20 swirls might be exactly the right amount. So we'll try that, see what happens. All right, guys, this is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Thanks for watching.